Bet365 are putting the power in your hand.
With their best ever bet report, you can create your own unique bet from thousands of markets. And at Bet365, if any of your players get subbed off, your bet rolls on with sub-on daily. But that's not all. Their incredible early payout offer comes to stand. Why would you build your bet anywhere else?
Download the app and see where it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Sister and brother, all of my friends, let's come together and break it.
Tennessee presents Sky Sports coverage of the Premier League.
Welcome to Sky Sports Multi-View. 4 games about to get underway in the Premier League in just a few moments' time. Watch with us and we will show you every goal and all of the action as it happens. Let's take you around the ground and show you what we have in store over the next 2 hours. At the Emirates, league leaders Arsenal host Brentford. Mikel Arteta's side held to a draw at Stamford Bridge at the weekend. Despite playing against 10 men for much of the game, here at home they've been in magnificent form. So quite the challenge for a Brentford side who have been unable to match their home form on the road. Keith Andrews' side with just 1 win on their travels so far this season. Some game at the Amex as 5th place Brighton take on 4th place Aston Villa. Fabian Hurtzler's side winners at the City Ground on Sunday. They've won their last 3 at home and are one of 4 sides still unbeaten on their turf. And Aston Villa arrive on the south coast, having won 7 of their last 8 Premier League games. In that time, no side has won more points than Unai Emery's team. No side has beaten Brighton at the Amex since Villa did so back in April. To Turf Moor, where Burnley start the night in the relegation zone, but no victory will lift them out of the bottom 3. 4 successive defeats though for Scott Parker's side, who have conceded 10 goals in that time. But is this a good time to take on a Crystal Palace side who have lost their last 2 games to Strasbourg in the Europa League and then saw their long unbeaten home record in the Premier League come to an end at the weekend as they surrendered a 1-0 lead to lose 2-1 to Manchester United? And at Molineux, could this be the night where Wolves finally win in the Premier League for the first time this season? Just 2 points picked up from their opening 12 games, but certainly signs of improvement under Rob Edwards, whose side gave Aston Villa a real run for their money at Villa Park on Sunday. Sean Dyche's Nottingham Forest the visitors to the West Midlands as they look to bounce back from their defeat to Brighton 3 days ago. So plenty for you to look forward to tonight on Sky Sports Multi-View. Stay with us and you'll see all the goals, all the action and all of the drama as it unfolds. If you want to watch these games individually, you can do so as well. Arsenal against Brentford on Sky Sports main event. Brighton against Aston Villa is over on Sky Sports Cricket. Wolves looking to get off to a fast start on Sky Sports F1 against Nottingham Forest. Burnley against Palace is over on Sky Sports Tennis. So a good evening to Lee Hendry alongside me tonight. Let's start with events at the Emirates. Arsenal unbeaten in their last 17 games in all competitions. Their longest unbeaten run under Mikel Arteta. But a few injuries in the mix for them right now. What did you make of that performance on Sunday? They were held by 10 at Chelsea.
Yeah, I think this was a disappointing performance in the end, wasn't it? Because you'd expect them to take all 3 points, but they come away with a point, which was absolutely massive. On a drop in 2 points, but I think Arteta set up knowing that it was going to be a tough game against Chelsea, and he had to be bang at it. And to be quite honest, I think he wouldn't have phased him as much. I think that you come away from a point, away from home, obviously going into the fixtures that are sort of looming. You do feel that they are still in pole position, aren't they? I know that they've dropped points, and Man City is still chasing them down. But there's a long way to go, and I think that was a big point for them, considering everyone would have felt that they'd have gone on and won the game, with Chelsea being down to 10.
3 changes made by Mikel Arteta tonight. In come White, Odegaard and Madueke. As for Brentford, Keith Andrews has really shuffled the pack. 5 changes made. It's the joint most Brentford have ever made in between Premier League games. Rico Henry, Ethan Pinnock Christopher Adja, Yehard Yarmouk and Vitaly Yana all come in, but it does mean that Igor Thiago, Jordan Henderson and Nathan Collins, as well as Mikael Damsgaard, is on the bench. A change in shape, it seems, to a back five. How difficult tonight can Brentford make it for Arsenal?
Well, I think he's set up to really disturb them, frustrate them. I think going to the Emirates, we touched on how good they are there. And the squad that Arteta has and that he can utilise, it just shows making changes. They're still very, very strong, aren't they? So I think Keith Andrews will look at this maybe a bit of a free hit, but knowing that they need to start getting points on the board away from home that can match their home form. They've been brilliant this season. This is a big ask for them, though. I really do feel that they've sharpened their part of the bus to a certain extent to make it hard for Arsenal.
They've been brilliant at home this season, Brentford. 16 of their 19 Premier League points have been at the G-Tech. Just 3 picked up on the road. A comfortable victory that was against West Ham on Monday Night Football last month. Can they replicate that kind of home form this evening and make life difficult for Arsenal? We know they're strong at set pieces. That's sure to be a key battle this evening. Brentford, one of the best sides, both offensively and defensively, from those kind of situations. Mikel Arteta saying before this game he wanted everybody in early. He wanted everybody to get right behind the Arsenal team as they look to increase their lead at the top of the Premier League table. Brentford, 3 late goals for them at the weekend at the G-Tech against Burnley. Exchange team for them here this evening. Over at the Amex, well, we should have a great game this evening. Unai Emery said as much in his pre-match press conference yesterday. Brighton so often entertaining, perhaps finding the consistency which has been hanging over them since Fabian Hurtzler's arrival. A little bit of drama in the build-up to that game. Emilio Martinez picking up an injury in the warm-up, so he's been replaced in goal by Bizot. How much might that disturb Aston Villa? What should be a really entertaining game tonight?
Well, Martinez was excellent, wasn't he, the weekend? And probably you have to say what a key performer he was to keep Wolves at bay. I mean, I felt that Wolves were very, very good. He was one that stood out for me, and a big loss. I mean, not only just for his capability of keeping goals out of the net, but just his experience. You know, him being vocal back there has been massive this season. But Marco Bizot, he knows what it's all about. He's had and featured in this Villa side, so coming in won't phase him. They just get on with things these days, and that's what Villa will want to do. They want to keep this form running on and keep chasing down the top teams that are certainly above them at the moment.
Is his replacement this evening. Marco Bizot has played some Premier League football, of course, this season. We saw Brighton at the weekend, very impressive against Nottingham Forest. We saw it on multi-view. We were there for much of the opening 25 minutes. Brighton had 9 attempts at goal in the opening 20 minutes of a game, the most they've had in that time period in the Premier League match in their history. But Fabian Hurtzler was very keen to point out that it wasn't much about the defending as it was about the attacking, the hunger to win the ball back. Speaking ahead of this game about the fact that they had to put in a performance tonight. Aston Villa, the last side to beat them at the Amex, and they beat them 3-0 in April. Learnt a lot from that particular defeat. Since no one has beaten them on their own patch since then. Winners tonight could go 3rd in the table. A huge incentive for both teams as Inter almost got through their good defensive work by Maatsen on the cover. Maatsen changed tonight to the Villa side. 4 made by Unai Emery, Onana, Watkins and Gassand in as well. Ollie Watkins looking for some goals, and he has a very good record against Brighton.
Yeah, he does. I mean, his season hasn't really got going. That's the disappointment for Ollie Watkins and Aston Villa. So for him and the team is that goals are coming from midfield, which has been massive. They turned a huge corner after a really poor start. So Ollie will be looking at this evening, thinking, can he get himself on the score sheet? Can he kickstart this season? Capable of the changes that are made. It just shows again what Villa have in strength and depth. And this is a massive game, it really is. I mean, the two sides are certainly fighting for European spots, aren't they? And Brighton getting that little bit more consistency and looking really, really good under Hurtzler.
Simas, one of the changes made by Fabian Hurtzler tonight. He made 3 to his starting lineup from the weekend. It is Simas's first Premier League start. Scored the goal which wrapped up the victory, of course, went on at the City Ground. To Turf Moor, Burnley have lost their last 4 games, conceded 10 in that time. Scott Parker feeling that the performances aren't too far away, but it's been a familiar message from Scott Parker, hasn't it, after recent games? His side doing a lot good, but just falling short.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting the balance right, isn't it? And this is what some people don't really understand. I think the step up in class coming into the Premier League, getting the right personnel, getting the young players to understand and believe what he's trying to sort of put onto the training field and put into games, which he's touched on, he's alluded to, is that they haven't been a million miles away. It's just waiting for that just to maybe click a little bit more than what it has done, and just force them away from the sort of bottom area, that relegation sort of area where they don't want to be this season. I think defensively they can be good, and they've shown that going forward they are a threat as well.
The set-piece battle coming at the Emirates tonight. Arsenal, of course, with some of their key players out with Saliba, Gabriel, Timber on the bench as well. You can see there from the breakdown, you can see on the screen how they get their goals. 10 from set pieces in their opening 10, none in their last 3 years. Declan Rice stands over this corner. Brentford very good at defending these situations as well. It must be pointed out as Rice whips it in and puts on the edge of the box to Manueke.
I think that's standing over there. I mean, all over. I think Arsenal are almost the complete team squad. I mean that, say that really by the fact that they can produce from set pieces, corners. They look so dangerous. That's where I feel that this season is probably the biggest opportunity for Arsenal and Mikel Arteta to maybe go and produce silverware.
Oliver Glasgow demanding that reinforcements have to come for Crystal Palace in January. Their exertions this season perhaps just showing signs of catching up with them. Successive defeats against Strasbourg and Manchester United. That defeat against Manchester United, their first home defeat of the season in the Premier League after the summer transfer window that they had. Lee, was this always likely to happen at some point?
Yeah, I felt so. I mean, listen, what Oliver Glasgow's done at the football club is truly remarkable, and that's the thing with Palace. I think not bringing in the personnel that you need, the squad depth. Obviously, playing in Europe is absolutely huge, isn't it? So, you do feel there's going to be frustration in losing big players. His massive sign-up available. Obviously, he is so keen what they do going forward.
Coyote's throws might wreak havoc tonight at the Emirates. It's one Brentford in the corner here. They've got some towering targets to try and pick out here. Much has been said, of course, as we just said about Arsenal's strength from set pieces, but Brentford have been right up there in recent seasons as well. There's Jensen standing over this corner for them. Andrew spoke about this set-piece batter in his press conference yesterday. Felt that his side could hold their own, felt that they could win this battle. What can they do from this set-piece situation? Jensen sends in a deep delivery, too deep on this occasion, sails beyond everyone, but very likely to be a key part, isn't it, Lee, of what happens at the Emirates. But as we go to Molineux, Forest looking to bounce back from that defeat at the weekend. Been doing plenty right under Sean Dyche, haven't they? Rob Edwards was talking up the job that his counterpart tonight had done. He said that's just exactly what Sean Dyche does. He goes to places, he sorts them out. I'm not surprised at all.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes he doesn't get as much credit as what he actually should do. I mean, people think that his style of play is quite boring, he's defensive, but it's not the case. I think he's got a really good squad there at Forest. I've said this many times since Ange left. I think there's getting the balance right for this Forest side. I think they will move away from that bottom half and finish really strong this season. They have got a really good, strong squad. They've got a really good manager that can drive them forward. He demands so much out of his team.
From each position since Sean Dyche took charge, and his results have helped them move away from Wolves at the bottom of the Premier League table. Wolves have to find a victory soon. 12 games without one. It's a wretched run. It stretches back to 17 games, of course, from last season. Arsenal on the front foot at the Emirates. Brentford managed to get the ball away. Much change, Brentford, as we mentioned tonight. 5 changes made by Keith Andrews. Back to Molineux, where Wolves have a corner to defend here against Nottingham Forest. It's a corner which they've worked short once again. So disappointed with that. He gets the ball back at his feet, works it across to Morgan Gibbs-White. Across a bit of room on the edge of the area here, but it travels over the top. Well hit by Amari Hutchinson, the one change to the Forest team tonight. Go to the Emirates. Connie Madueke for Arsenal. The action moves quickly on Sky Sports Multiview. You won't miss a thing with us here this evening. And the goals as they go in. We haven't got Fulham versus Manchester City. Isn't that what the game that was last night? 9 goals at Craven Cottage.
There's a long way to go. I feel there's goals this evening. I really do. This is going to be a tough evening for Brentford. You can see how compact they look already, can't you? I mean, they are sitting back on their haunches and they will try and counter-attack. And as Keith Andrews has alluded to, set pieces, plays have been so key for them this evening. Really trying to frustrate Arsenal. It's going to be massive for them.
Brighton corner, which is something Bizot misses in, and it finds its way in. Now Paul Van Hecker wheels away. It's a big mistake from Marco Bizot, who came into the side at the last minute with Emiliano Martinez injured. He feels he was fouled, but right now it looks as if Brighton have got themselves the early lead. It's another goal for Van Hecker. Unai Emery watching on. Brilliant start for Brighton, so good at home.
Yeah, they've been fantastic. Hecker will play this. Was there a slight push? Was there a slight nudge? I mean, there wasn't first, but Bizot's got to do better, hasn't he? I mean, it's a very scrappy goal. You can see here's a little bit going on there. Nothing that's going to rule out this goal. Morgan Rodgers can't deal with it. And then it is all a little bit scruffy. I don't know what he can actually do. Could have been a handball in there. It comes off. Van Hecker might even come off Rodgers and into the net. It's a brilliant start for Brighton. They've been in really good form. So about consistency is going to be key for them this season. It really is. And this is
it had been a corner only. Looking back at that, it doesn't appear so. Looks as if the final touch came off De Koiper, who was the player that Bizot felt was disturbing him as the corner came in, and you can see why Villa were aggrieved at the awarding of that corner.
Yeah, definitely. Matty Cash trying to win that header. It does look like it comes off De Koiper, but you have to deal with the next phase of the game, don't you? I mean, this is very, very scruffy. They are looking at a possible handball here.
It's been a goal at the Emirates. As you can see, Arsenal have got themselves into the lead as VAR continues to investigate what Brighton will be their opener. Here's how Arsenal just
again.
in front at the Emirates. And in possession. Across to Madueke. Lovely trickery from him. Then Ben White with the delivery. And it's Mikel Moreno once again. Arsenal's leading scorer in the calendar year. What a job he is doing for his side. His 13th goal in 2025. They are ahead at home against Brentford.
Oh, it's brilliant. I mean, Mikel Arteta has done pushing Bruno forward. Has been quite outstanding. And this is the reason why. I mean, they're working brilliantly. This is changes to the squad. Madueke, looking at McBride, overlap, and then what a run that is for Moreno. I mean, it's hard to defend, but you know when he gets that first initial run, everything that's put in that area, he's going to win. And he does. He does it brilliantly. Right in front of him, and he hits him down. It's very hard for the goalkeeper to get anywhere near him because of the pace on the ball. It's a brilliant header and a super start at the Emirates for Arsenal.
Just what they needed against the Brentford side that had come to frustrate in North London tonight. Three centre halves in there for Keith Andrews' side. One of them could stop Mikel Moreno from scoring once again. Tim said yesterday that when he signed him, he didn't see him as a striker, but he's not surprised after working with him. To adapt into that role. What a signing he's proven to be.
He's been fantastic, and you can see the physical element he has. Just anything that's put in the box, and it's not just about putting it that where he can get on the contact and heading that ball in. He has got quality, and he has the ball at his feet also. Just highlights that goals from this season.
On the attack, as you've seen that Brighton goal confirmed down at the Alex camp. So they'll have an opportunity for Iona to launch this ball through a long throw once again.
Interesting what Keith Andrews does. I mean, obviously he's getting into the box.
To send one in once again. Skills over the head of Ethan Dinnock. Of course, last one tonight coming up against his former club. Mikel Arteta said it took 2 years to get him to join Arsenal. He was a player that he wanted. As soon as he became manager, he would have had to be patient to get him. So just had to transform the way they play. So we have goals in 2 of our games so far this evening on Sky Sports Multiview. Arsenal ahead against Brentford, Brighton ahead against Aston Villa. Both goals coming just after Lee Hendry had declared there will be plenty of goals for us to enjoy this evening.
Definitely, I feel it, I felt it. I'm always right-ish, you know that.
We'll see if that holds true as the evening goes on. Too many goals usually at Turf Moor. Brentford could certainly do with a victory coming tonight, couldn't they? Looking to move themselves out of the bottom 3. Themselves at Brentford at the weekend as well. On behind later, managed to get it back to 1-1 before conceding 2 late goals. Palace on the front foot here. Mateta, Jean-Philippe Mateta beaten away. Smart stop by Martin Dubravka, but there we saw what Jean-Philippe Mateta is all about.
Yeah, Palace, I mean, look at it, turn it over very quickly. Actually, might have just played that little reverse ball in to Mateta, and one thing on his mind, he uses his strength, his upper body, and then strikes it hard. It's a really good save, actually, from Dubravka in goal. Has to be in that near post.
Looking to get away back level. Cross will be taken in on the bar from Rubin. Very tough game over the weekend as we go to turn off this Crystal Palace corner. Testing delivery comes in and managed to get something on it. Dino just hoists it back into Dubravka. Comes into exchange with Burnley. Looks to get his side on the front foot quickly.
That's what's good about Burnley. To be back into the side, he can relieve that bit of pressure, he can take them up the pitch. That's what Scott Parker knows. That's one of the players who can just get that formula and start turning a corner.
Jesus for Nottingham Forest, 5 goals for them this season, but none of them have come in the Premier League. 4 players waiting in the box here, 4 across to come. Possession to starting more than once again this evening. And through injury, Forest had hooked to cross country to the boxes. Forest were asking plenty of questions early on in this game, saying that seen from performances under him so far that players are seeing things getting better. They're still believing in what they do. Sort of a little bit shifted for the target at the weekend. Sagore looks to move it forward towards the bodies in the way. Burnley at Turf Moor. Head up to Cashier to show you that. Cash in on this set-piece situation. Martin has 4 assists this season, but they will be in away games, not the best of deliveries in. Situation with Burnley in the most of them.
Definitely not a great delivery, that's why important this evening. The quality that needs to go into the box, the service, is crucial.
So had 68% possession in that game through the opening 15 minutes as we see Forest on the ball once again. Shots in the opening 17 minutes as Dan Boyd picks up possession. Here's Anderson looking to feed Boyd then. He's able to get that ball through to Enoch, and it's Chachua who was in the way. He wants to do something here. Possession is turned over. As Boyd brings play back for a free kick. Forest have a chance here to test out this defence.
Their wheels have to offer a hell of a lot more. I think just getting that balance. Rob has looked at the squad because he wants to be more defensive, which is understandable, but they have to start scoring goals.
It's Hartman for Burnley as he looks to cross it, cleared away by Adam Wharton. Defensively were so strong, weren't they, last season in the Championship? There's more shots on their goal than any other Premier League team this season. We go to Montague for this Nottingham Forest free kick. Out to the far side. Whistling back in, and decision made early by Sam Johnston, who gets something on it now, and he has to look to bring Wolves away. Clearly foul, which might be in trouble. It's an unchanged Wolves team for the first time this season tonight. Someone's made more changes to their Premier League lineup in the course of the campaign so far. It's a light what we saw.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think we like what we saw actually. They had a really good balance. They asked questions on the counter attack. They get the ball relatively well. So the result wasn't there for them, but as I said, they have to start putting key moments, key opportunities, being more clinical. It looks like they are setting up a very similar sort of way as what they did against Villa.
Brighton scored from 1 set piece so far tonight. Controversially so, as well as the Creeper swings in the free kick. The set piece on the menu at the Emirates. And it's for Brentford as Matthias Jensen stands over this corner. Sweeps it towards the back post with the play. Gets it this to it, gets it high but not too far away. Threat still on here, it's smashed towards goal with it go behind. Brentford corner, Ben White flinging himself in the way.
That was unbelievable goal, wasn't it, from Ben White? That's what you want, don't you? You've got players coming in, the time attacks that strike on. Every right within the box, there's lots of bodies in and around Danny Ryan. What an offensive block that was from Ben White. On the line.
Offensive work for Arsenal to do here. One of the 5 changes to Brentford side this evening to take this corner for them. Whips it in. It's not a bad ball, it's a brilliant ball. Off the crossbar it goes. Brentford's so close to an equaliser. They've already been a touch to them.
Yeah, it looked like he got a slight touch. First one to the crossbar.
Chilling with the head on his Brentford. Look to keep the pressure on there. It's been a good response from what we've seen on Keith Andrews' side.
Some of the corners are set pieces, delivering to the box. It's going to be so important for Brentford. So they've reacted really well in essence on the goal game. They've just really good delivery to the box. The next thing right, I think was that David Ryan. Just got a little fingertip that forced onto the crossbar.
Just calling for a bit of calm and a bit of composure as we see this header from Kevin Sharler again, and he can get a touch to it. Then it's a fabulous save from David Ryan to deny his former team.
I'll tell you what, it's a fabulous header as well from Kevin Sharler. Rises above everyone and it's lots of pace on the header. It's a save, it really is. It was more fingertip than it was. Onto the bar. It's one of the players that David Ryan.
Andrews for his side. A drawn level at the Emirates. They're in possession once again here. Loaded bench tonight as well for the Andrews side. He's opted to plenty of reserve. The likes of Igor Thiago, Nico Bansgaard, Jordan Henderson, Nico Collins on the bench. Eric Dino for Talis looks across. Could he have got a strike away instead?
I think he's totally got it wrong there. Now, if he goes here, it's a really good opportunity, isn't it? Kamada just breaking the lines, and then why on earth he's trying to pick out a pass he's been looking for at far post, rather than taking maybe a touch and testing after he goal. It's a decision for Eric Dino.
It's kind of Fiori for Arsenal. He's playing that reverse pass, but Brentford have so many bodies back. So something defensively this evening with that back line. Plenty as well since they fell behind. Just got past the midway point and the Emirates. Midway point in. Forward by pretty much now. Injury for Brighton. It seems down at the Emirates. Matisse Sinas bottom right of your screen. Being led away. Looking at his first Premier League start tonight as well. Real shame for the youngster who himself up and running in the Premier League and the league. And Forest on the front foot as we're seeing at Molyneux. They've been the side far more likely it seems to open the score in the West Midlands.
Yeah, they'll dominate the ball, haven't they? They've asked all the questions in that game. Really forcing the issue. Pretty much hanging on defending game is they completely force a little bit more going forward. So they can sit back and really invite pressure on Forest. We love that.
Comes into the box, it's a free header, and it was a real opportunity for Dan Undoy, and he knows it as well.
It's a big opportunity. Listen, opportunities like that when you're hanging Good spells of pressure. Put in here. But he should do so much better. Not near him at all. He gets much contact on the header. Towards goal causes some problem.
Brighton making any changes, you can see. To Brighton this week, Chilwell, who scored against Brentford in their last home game, scored that winning goal. He's returning to full fitness after a period out, so that's forced into an early change. We go to the Emirates, where it's Ben White looking to cross. He just skews. I'm pretty sure it was an attempted ball across, but it looks as if he's getting into some threatening positions like Wolves. We haven't seen much of them going forward so far. Really causing any problems for Sean Dyche's side.
That's the problem. He can be offensive at times. I'm sure this is what he wants. One of the bits is that they squeeze when in their final third is that they push and make that hard foot. He's supposed to want to play out at times. The concept they have in midfield that comes through to Watford Forest. That's when Watford will be demanding that they put the squeeze on.
7 goals scored by Wolves so far this season, 4 fewer than any other team in the top 4 tiers of English football. To get themselves going as an attacking threat here this season. Plenty of crosses into the box. These two put more crosses in than the other side in the Premier League as Gari gets himself in the way there. Arias looks to bring it under control. Lovely touch from him. Just going to run out to play. To the annex where Brighton have a free kick in a really dangerous position here on the edge of the Aston Villa penalty area. Plenty of contenders to test that mark on Bizzo. Shot for Brighton, which saw Ruben, who we've seen operate as a false nine at times this season, has been asked to perform the same role by Fabian Hertz, where he's in contention. Perhaps for this free kick as well. He won this free kick for them. That's the Kuiper standing over it.
I think this would be a really good opportunity for him to test his own goal that he haven't seen. He wasn't commanding in his box from that corner that led to the first goal. It's probably one that you'd be expecting minimal. Just hit the target, test the goalkeeper.
Gomez also an option. He's brilliant from distance, isn't he? Scored some spectacular goals this season. It's going to be to Kuiper just over the top. Brighton will have a corner.
Well, strong ones from the Kuiper. There's a confidence and well to get it back. Trying to dip underneath the crossbar. So as I say, it's always going to go over, but it's been another one to test them for. There's a goal. It's that first goal of the league.
Alright. It's crowded around him once again as Torres gets us there to him. He's spotted an infringement in there, so we go to Turf Moor. Still waiting for the first goal of the night, the game between Burnley and Crystal Palace. And with the touch behind, two changes made by Scott Parker to the Emirates. Chance for Arsenal, but up it goes. Decent chance, but a sensible chance as well for Gabriel Martinelli.
These guys are so good, aren't they? I mean, they have to defend and get back and also do what they do, but through that front line, they should do better. Ben White, look at it, thanks to God, the pitch he is. That's a really big chance for Arsenal to go 2-1. Should be hitting the target from there, Martinelli.
In terms of best areas, I see that White has been problems for Brentford for the last 27 minutes of the game. Entertaining game at the Emirates. Villa looking for an equaliser now at the Amex. It was a good chance that came on. Watkins, where he's got a really good record through his career against Brighton. 7 goals he's scored, a couple of assists in 9 Premier League matches against them. And it's a chance to make it 1-1.
Really big chance. Rodgers doing brilliantly on the half turn and then slides. Watkins in. Just needs one of their goals to just be a bit of a scruffy one that gets him off the mark really this season.
Free kick for Crystal Palace, and it comes cleared away at the front post and then touched on by Jadon Anthony. To the next, we go Brighton on the break. A chance to
Two for Brighton. My 3-1 has to go with him.
Torres. Jack and Chilwell making an impact so soon off the bench. Brighton potentially going up to third
possession of the ball. Really looked most dangerous, and it's really by this 2-0 cushion.
Four games underway on Sky Sports Motherview. A couple kick off at 8:15 as well. Leeds against Chelsea will be on Sky Sports Premier League. Liverpool Sunderland over on Sky Sports Football. Any goals in those games? Whilst we're on air here on Sky Sports Motherview, we will bring you as well. What a night of Premier League action. We've seen 2 of our games so far this evening. We've got one more game to come tomorrow night as well, as Manchester United take on West Ham. And another game you can see live on Sky Sports. Forest still searching for a first goal. Now, Molyneux, half an hour played now. United on the front foot again, could their first half get even better.
Looks like they've really been the team that have been advanced. That's most of the question. There wasn't the Moroccan strike that was easily saved. So we need to respond now. The thing is, the Brighton side are capable of only getting a third on there, not going to move to the state together.
It's interesting. Quite a stat on the opening goal for Brighton this evening. For the 5th time in 2025 in the Premier League this season. It's as many times that 2 Dutch players have combined for a goal in the Premier League as in the previous 15 years. Whoever cut that one out, that was statistical suppliers. Well done to you, Nick. That's a heck of a step. For Arsenal and the Emirates, 1-0 up. It's to man's goal by Kelvin Rayner, proving problematic in the penalty area once again. So work it short this time though. Here's Madueke. Zubimendi. Rice pushes it back to Madueke. He looks the sweet one in here off his left foot. He put it with the header away. Start tonight for Ethan Kennedy. This much change as Brentford. One big game for Brentford coming up. The weekend will be North London once again to take on Thomas Frank and Tottenham. Now Declan Rice, he thought about it. He's still going here. Declan Rice, he's in charge now. Moves so smoothly. That's the Declan Rice. The goal for Arsenal.
Takes that midway, drives from the midfield area. Combination play here. Declan Rice fakes to take that strike on. Dennis Dover ready to go down. So those are quite big. Something that falls from coming into a real dangerous area.
Heading towards the kind of player that we hoped he would be. Kev Arteta said, how good does he expect him to be then? Because he's one of the best around, isn't he? Declan Rice. He's been so dominant in some of their recent wins. Brilliant against Tottenham, brilliant against Bayern Munich. And the corner for Arsenal is going to be swept towards the front post. The it's high but not away. Bouncing around inside the box. Really defensively. There's a VAR check going on, as you can see, right hand side of your screen, and the Amex. Bring that to you. Penalty for Aston Villa here. Believer can't see challenge on Ian Wilson. Villa to get a way back into the game on the South Coast.
He's big, he's there, and there is slight penalty there. Is there enough penalty? That's the question. I'm so sure. Chelsea is as far as the top. Wilson as he drives forward.
Just going to see. Sent on towards the back post, Brighton, and it half an hour to make a supporting effort.
Harsh penalty that was given. Minimal contact. Delivery really from Aston Villa to respond to get back into that man. That might just give them a bit of urgency. That's going to be so important for them.
Scramble going on inside the penalty area at 4. Josh Connor, discussion with the referee. Thomas Kirkby in charge tonight. We've got the opposition for Oliver Glasgow and Crystal Palace in his first game in charge in February 2024. 3-0 victory just 2 days after took over from Roy Hodgson to get things moving at Palace. This week he has really good memories of that game. It feels like such a long time ago. 83 games he's had in charge of Crystal Palace since chance to turn it into the penalty area, headed away by Chris Richards.
It's interesting, the two sides obviously against each other. Burnley and Palace, I mean, the two sides that are very direct, but they're not good to watch. Palace are so signs when they don't play exciting factual football in the final third.
The side looking more likely at the moment down at Molineux. They've got themselves scoring brilliant. On there by Morgan Gibbs White. Of course, might get a few cheers this evening back at his former club. 28 appearances he made for the club with which he came through their academy, having joined the club at the age of 8. This was the squad that won the championship title back in 2018 as well, defending for Wolves to do here. As Warren Hutchinson prepares to take Nottingham Forest's 5th corner of the evening.
We've had a lot of the play, haven't they? Good opportunities, say. They want to produce something against them against Brighton the weekend.
Warner comes in and it's flicked away by Johnston. Nico Williams on the follow-up. To have their 6th corner of the night. Sean Dyche was saying, wasn't he, after that defeat at the weekend, that there was plenty of things in that performance that will hold them in good stead through the course of the season. Really went to Brighton, laid siege, didn't they? On their goal in the second half, just couldn't find a way through. Done by the great Simax goal, which made it 2-0.
Changes were made from Dyche, bring it up. Hutchinson, who starts this evening. It's the boy as well, that were very good. When them two players are on, takes them can cause any team's problems.
Chance for Noni Madueke and the Emirates. There has been a goal
we got a goal.
right of your screen. Aston Villa have got
It's
themselves
not
back into
5-4.
the game. It's a
Like,
much
penalty
needed
check.
goal for Ollie Watkins as we see that opportunity which came Noni Madueke's way. Well, he always gets goals against Brighton, doesn't he, Ollie Watkins? And he's got another one here this evening to drag Aston Villa back into this game. 4th against 5th in the Premier League. This is how it happened. Ian Maatson with the ball across, and there was Ollie Watkins in the right place to give Aston Villa a bit of life down on the south coast.
Yeah, I felt this was the next goal was going to be so violent for Aston Villa. Maatson does well, and then look at the hunger there. Watkins, you can tell he wants a goal. He's just got it down to sheer hunger and getting through the defenders. The Steelers obviously finding on that back post, but he could finish one. Work from Ian Maatson on that left-hand side. Looking at danger. He's got delivery into the box, which he looks a real scruffy finish, doesn't he? As he actually off by Watkins. He's claimed it.
We have goals in all 4 of our games now this evening. They've been applying the pressure, haven't they, Nottingham Forest? And Igor Jesus has his first Premier League goal for Forest. Wheels away in celebration. Wolves are protesting that there was interference in front of Sam Johnston.
It is so we have goals in all 4 games.
Does he have a point, Sam Johnston? Is this goal going to
It's
stand?
not got from Palace.
Will still be at 0-0. You can see his point on Sam Johnston. He's right there in front of him.
Yeah,
It hasn't time to be seen this in the Premier League. It's a brilliant header. There's no doubt.
Okay.
Jesus thought of it. And beats the ball. Yes.
Burnley Palace.
Sam Johnston straight away. 8 points.
That.
To Adam Doyle. Saying he's in his view.
Oh, offside. Offside.
Times I've seen this.
Offside.
Collinsworth plays a bit in front of the goalkeeper. Straight away, it's in his eye line. I'll be very surprised if he stands.
Ladies, the VAR for the game and Molineux this evening. He's right in front of Sam Johnston there, isn't he? It would be a surprise if this goal were to stand.
So there's a bit of movement there as well early before even the goals into the net. Johnston pushes right with his eye line. So I do feel that this will be checked, but I'm very, very surprised if it does stand. Opportunities in situations like that we've seen in the Premier League. They've been ruled out.
5 goals for Igor Jesus so far this season. They've gone in cup competitions. He was hoping that this would be his first in the Premier League as they continue to get scrutiny and stoutly by Forest. And let's see John Wolves goal so far this evening. 8 attempts to 1 from the opening 39 and a bit minutes. Is this goal going to stay? We're still waiting find out what the decision will be.
That's interesting. You can quite clearly see that Brentford is right in front of Johnston. No angles of where it actually does. His eye line.
You have to question how this is taking so long for a decision. Decides it's got the offside. And it clearly looks as if he's interfering with the view that Sam Johnston has an ability to make a save here.
As I said, I've seen situations identical to this.
So
we go.
to what Tim Robinson will say, we'll get that in a few moments' time. It's a subjective decision, of course, so he has to go and look at the pitch side monitor.
Oh, let's go.
Into this one's, of course, the dreadful record this season that they have conceded the opening goal across the whole 10 occasions when that's happened. I think that's going to be the case here. Tim Robinson making the one run across. It's the see the replays that we've been looking at for a considerable
Oh, is he
time.
blocking the goal?
Yeah, definitely. From the goalkeeper's
Blocking the goal.
perspective,
He's there, the goal.
he's not there, does he make the save?
Oh,
Clear on this offside situation is right in front of Sam Johnston. This took some time. Initially, and sent over to Robinson to make that call.
We wait for Tim Robinson's decision. Perhaps a problem for Arsenal, bottom right of your screen. Just a Mosquera, some medical attention right now. A few looks at this, isn't it, Tim Robinson? 3 minutes already. So whether or not he's his head is going to stand. So we go on, it's now tipped into a 4th minute of scrutiny here. I mean, from that angle that we saw just a few moments ago from behind, it clearly looks as if Matt Boyle is interfering with Sam Johnston's ability to make a save, to react in his eye line. So we wait.
I agree. I think if it's right in the front corner, maybe different situation, but I just don't understand how we'll see how the length of time and how this will stand.
Listening to what Tim Robinson has to say. After review.
no goal. So Forest are back in 12. Can't add anything. Sorry, Forest.
That took some time, didn't it?
Over this set piece for Burnley as it's whipped into the front post. So much going on tonight from Sky Sports point of view. I was forgetting where the goals had already gone in this evening. We've had 3 at the Amex between Brighton and Aston Villa. That always had the look of perhaps being the most entertaining game of the evening. 2 really important teams meeting on the south coast. This one, Lee, always had the makings perhaps of being a much tighter affair.
Yes, and I said about the kind of possession and the style of play that Scott Parker has, that certainly playing is all about being a bit more direct, long passes, second balls. That's exactly what it's all about. But in terms of the multi possession stats, it's in so many goals. That's the flip side of it. But obviously, it doesn't seem to be an awful lot. Mateta chance was massive for Palace, and that should be a little bit better.
To our game of the evening so far, one intake for Brighton, really scheming with a bit of thread, isn't it? And that right hand side, possession back into the final minutes of the first quarter. Down the south coast. Now it's Bellini doing what he does so well. Brighton back in the ball. Intake. Time to play. Top right of your screen at bottom, you have huge delay waiting for confirmation. So,
Newcastle.
approach half time, 3 of our games. It's a little longer as to enjoy some possession here, just perhaps looking to get themselves through to half time with this lead intact. Goal at
Palace have scored. That'll please Tony. Palace have scored. We did say 2-0 Palace. 2-0 Forest.
Yeah, it's sort of talk about it when they get into the final third. They do throw bodies forward. To a deep area. He tries to be seen.
That just scores one.
Come on to the scene. Went to it. To the back post. His formation. The fullbacks, the wingbacks are so key. Improved. What a massive signing he's been. All this season, I can feel he's got forward. He's direct. And the pick out from Mark Gay is absolutely first class. So pretty much a play. Brentford's got no chance at all. She's centre half. The assist. That's your wing back. And then super executed header. And Munoz just opened up that game at Turf Moor.
As you say, his fourth goal of the season. They've all come in away games as well. Crystal Palace falling away in front just before the half-time whistle. We go to the Alex. Brighton looking for a third as breaks to Minte on the edge of the area. Low shot comes in, couldn't fire it through the crowd inside the Villa penalty box.
By the way, we didn't see the real build-up, did we, for the Palace goal? I think the accident was built up from the touch on possession. Well, I've certainly talked about it, and that's what they do well in the final third. It's a brilliant goal.
Also had a VAR check as well, didn't we, at the Alex? Brighton's opening goal. Unhappy that goal stood. He was fouled by Maxi to Webber, so 6 minutes added on down on the South Coast as Emery watches on. The side's still very much in the game. Opportunity perhaps for one of these sides to move to third place in the Premier League this evening. Let's head to the Emirates into a third minute of stoppage time in North London.
Keen Andrews will be delighted when he'll just want to get into the half-time situation where he can just get his team together. Maybe a solution where to get something out of that game.
Burnley's long throw through Kyle Walker, not leading to anything, but another long throw coming at the Emirates. Michael Coyote, who has one of the most dangerous long throws, if not the most dangerous in the Premier League. There's so much panic in opposition penalty areas so far this season. To bump Calafiori out the way and have the opportunity to launch it in once again. Arsenal looking to get through to half-time with this one-goal lead given to them by Mikel Moreno.
What a time this would be for Brentford to snatch the equaliser.
It's dealt with well and hoisted back in to Julian Timber. Has been brought on by Mikel Arteta. There is the half-time whistle. That's goal separating the two sides in the London derby. Yet another goal for Mikel Moreno. Plenty of work for Arsenal still to do this evening. Brentford have had their chances as we go to Turf Moor, where Crystal Palace just got themselves in front through Daniel Munoz. As we said, an 11-pass move which led to the breakthrough. Brief appearance tonight for Burnley for Zian Fleming. He's 7 Premier League games now. He's scored 4 goals in his last 5 matches. Chris Richards on throw. There's any panic in the Burnley box. They're just headed away with the time for Palace to take this corner though as we tick into a third minute of stoppage time. The half-time whistle has been blown by Thomas Kirk. Daniel Munoz's goal late in the half has put Palace into a lead. An incredible save a few moments ago down at the Emirates. It couldn't have counted anyway though because the flag was up. Let's see the drama that just happened on the South Coast.
Passing and then Watkins in a grey area. What to say that with a big hand. Well, probably looked at. He was onside to me. Just a strike by Watkins. Brilliant save from the brother.
To Aston Villa back into the game with that goal, just the second of the season. He said when he was asked about this goal session yesterday, wow, what a match. Very much looking forward to it. Villa with plenty of work to do. Found themselves in a really sticky situation. 2-0 down. Hope for them.
6 minutes.
This was one that you looked at the fixture list and found that some teams in really good form, striving to go forward.
today. The Wolves against Forest might bring us some goals. We're still waiting for the first one this evening. Forest thought they had it through Igor Jesus, but it was ruled out for offside. Still playing at Molyneux. 5 minutes of time adding on, only seconds remaining, but perhaps just time here for Wolves to create one more goal scoring opportunity in this first half. They haven't created many so far.
No, they haven't, and these are going to be big moments for Edwards and Wolves. He's desperate for a goal. It's his side score since taking the reins there. Continues.
Time whistle goes at Molyneux. 0-0 between Wolves and Nottingham Forest. Game still going on. It's at the Annex as Villa look to try and find a way to get themselves level. Two games getting underway. 8:15 tonight in the Premier League. In the early minutes of those matches, and we've already had a goal.
Yes!
Leeds United.
Ha ha!
Brilliant start. Early goal for them. People thought that Chelsea might find it tricky tonight up at Ellen Road. Just look at those scenes as well. Leeds had a dream start as Aston Villa. They look to make the most of this corner situation. Up the post it goes. Was it cleared away before the ball crossed the line? Emery with his arms outstretched, the game goes on. As the referees get alerted on their watch if the ball crossed the line.
Leeds 1, Chelsea 0.
So close to making it 2-2, but now Brighton looking to counter. Here's Garuda. Still Garuda working the angle for a strike straight at his arm. And close for Villa there to making it 2-2.
Edwards looking round for the system. Referee just the goal, is it?
Ah.
What a game down at the Annex from 2-0 down to 2-2. 4 goals tonight, and in the rest of the season for Ollie Watkins, his season has ignited. Brighton 2, Aston Villa 2.
Well, just as we said, Aston Villa really, really close. This is from back to front. Rogers, what a kick out that is. Finding the offside, similar to the one that you missed. WatchAlong back, but a bit more composure here from Ollie Watkins. Gets his first touch and execution, first class. Probably isn't saving that, they are asking. Maybe question whether he was offside, but credit to Ollie Watkins. If this doesn't, that be a big moment for him and for Aston Villa.
Right on the stroke of half-time. Thought they were level, but didn't cross the line. I think they were appealing for a handball in that as well. Brighton went forward, led by Gruber. Villa going back to front so
That's
quickly.
bad.
Picking up a yellow card. What a good tackle at the Annex. Villa scoring in the 7th minute of stoppage time. Villa showing again. They have these powers of recovery on the road, as I mentioned. Their previous 2 Premier League wins came when they conceded the first goal. They were 2-0 down to that. They are checking now this offside decision at Stockley Park. Will this second Aston Villa goal stand?
I'll give it.
Goal is given. Confirmed by referee Andy Ladley. Some respect for him.
Oh, that's a response to Emery. Absolutely delighted. 2-0 down away from home. I mean, always knew this was going to be real cagey game, not a tight one. But it certainly delivered in that first half.
Half-time at the Annex. Brighton 2, Aston Villa 2. On the other side of the break, we'll show you all the best of the action in our first half this evening on Sky Sports Multiview.
Let's
First half stoppage time at the Annex, and in that, Aston Villa have fought back from 2-0 down in the first half hour to level it at 2-2. to Tanaka. Calvert waiting the arrival of Betcher to just slow fingers behind Goodmanson. Scrapped.
It's in decent shape, good possession. Actually, a moment in the game when it was starting to settle down.
Fernandez.
Oh dear, what about it?
The second time he started the Premier League match this season, he was injured in the previous one against Liverpool.
Chelsea back three in possession. Just ticking in.
He's gone through the middle to play the attack for now. Winning the throw in. Consecutive Premier League match against one of England's hopefuls in Europe. They lost the other three against Nottingham Forest, Villa and Manchester City. It was the last of those that gave rise to the optimism that's started to appear again here, that they might have enough to stay up. Santos. Just chill up. Hernandez trying to dictate operations, looking to ask the question of Scrap, but he was up to learning the answer. Launched by Goodmanson, Calvert-Lewin. A bit of pressure on Valencia and he couldn't to get there with Sanchez, from which Calvert-Lewin came up first. Goodmanson. Calvert-Lewin is now back on his feet.
Passes together. Trios. Something. Penrose. Bay.
Through. By the Leeds goal scorer. It's Cooperman. Has the ability to excite, lays that one off to Fernandez. Pedro going for it. Terry was second best and gets a touch lucky.
Tripping all over it, didn't it? The ball was up in the air. Just thinking, is the goalkeeper there? Just touch and go.
Calvert-Lewin getting in a cross, cutting up. Right Shield. Previous corner. Reasons to be fearful for Chelsea.
That front two, continue to keep punching at them and pushing them back. Until you get some joy from moments like this. pulls back into the penalty spot position.
Oh, it's going.
His hands in his head, he should have. It's a free header.
It's going to be a battle for survival this season for his team. Brentford. To get out of the first three. This will not play until tomorrow. There's WatchAlong. So they've got this in the slope. They're coming behind with it in the slope. Here's Fernandez. Santos to Cucurella. Moved on by Fernandez to Galan, which Fiona initially wanted back. Now we do Raja. And Raja pushed the ground by Tosinan Rabayo. It's the award free kick.
Something to the game there, just in that 10-second period where the lap gives it away at one end, and then all of a sudden these two centre forwards link. And winning the free kick. Whilst a front two are causing a pair of centre backs the problems that they are, then you've always got challenges in the game. This year, and then Rabayo don't get a break.
Challenge always with Dominic Calvert is keeping him fit. He was just off the field for a moment, having a tape applied to his finger, so no undue alarm from that particular absence. Temporary though it was. Just really making some slides.
To get a touch of the ball. To keep doing that and then get a grip of a nice front two that can start to control the game. Should come with the quality that they have.
He's giving it away this time. Two needless giveaways of possession, but Chelsea can build something here with Delap, who's got options. Pedro's one of them, not beyond the line. In for Lucas Mecha. His layoff goes straight back in Chelsea's direction. There's traces. Himself right to that goal. He gets a second goal. 4-5 strike this time. Again, he gets it away to Calvert-Lewin, who was pretty isolated. Cucurella. This is Jamie Gittins. Rodon. Early on this occasion.
Chelsea, big improvements.
Fernandez.
Second half still.
These for Brentford. Henry, Ethan Kinnock, Christopher Adja,
Brentford.
and Vitali Yanot
Free taking
all
this.
called into the side to manage. Steve Andrews switched to a back five. An opportunity here to find a way level. Back underway as well now. At Turf Moor, players starting to emerge from the tunnel as well. And Molyneux. What can Brentford conjure up here? Andrew said that he felt his side could cause some damage tonight from set pieces. They've had very few opportunities from those situations so far tonight. And able to make the most of that. Even Kinnock at the back post. Able to do anything when the ball came his way.
I felt that they've managed the game pretty well, haven't they, considering they 1-0 down relatively early. They've stayed in the game, they picked moments to go forward, as Keith Wolves would do tactically. Wake has been excellent, 9 touches in the opposition box. It's the most from Arsenal playing the Premier League's first half this season. That just showed how important he was, how he instigated the attacks for Arsenal. So I think there'll be more from him to come. Arsenal can always look at their bench if they want to. Maybe force that second goal, which I feel they'll need this evening. Brentford really showed that they're capable of producing something.
Turf Moor Palace leading by a goal to nil. Just a couple of attempts each so far this evening for both sides, and all of them have been on target in that game as well. Can Burnley find a way to get themselves back on level terms? A reminder of the team who's running through the bottom of your screen there. Hector and Anthony coming into the Burnley lineup from the defeat against Brentford at the weekend. Just one change made by Oliver Glasner to shuffle the pack too much, does it? Jefferson Lover coming in for the injured Ishmael Assar. Fewest changes, 2 starting 11s, both Burnley and Crystal Palace in the Premier League this season. Consistency in selection, but as we mentioned with Crystal Palace, it is perhaps a problem. A small squad and so many games to play.
Yeah, that's the problem with European games that they have. They're terrible. Just non-stop for guys. He's frustrated. He wants more. So, look at that squad, doesn't he? And he deserves that. He really does.
Back underway at Molineux. Forest, of course, had that goal disallowed, didn't they, after a considerable delay. Well, Jesus thought he got his first Premier League goal for the club, but it was chalked off. Ballandoy standing in front of Sam Johnston and affecting the goalkeeper's ability to make a save. Wolves had just 2 touches in the Forest penalty area in the first half. Their fewest in a first half in a Premier League game so far this season. Also, just the second Premier League match this season in which neither side had an attempt on target. Brentford on the front foot once again, another set-piece situation for them. So them hit the bar in the first half, getting shoulders header, tipped onto the frame of the goal by David Raya. This is something that Brentford have been strong at so far this season, able to make the most of that situation. Still waiting for the players to emerge at the annex, as you see Fabian Herzler in the dugout down on the south coast. He'll be hugely frustrated when he is side in such a fantastic position early in the game, leading by 2 goals to nil before Ollie Watkins pounced and scored twice to make it 2-2.
Yeah, well, that's the inconsistency, isn't it, that we've seen over seasons with Brighton. Yes, I know that sometimes their squad gets disturbed, disrupted because of their model they have there, but that fantastic model they have and the players that they have at their time, they should be doing better 2-0 up at home.
Wolves looking to take the lead here. Arias with the header. Should have been 1-0. Rob Edwards can't believe it. Wolves bench all up. They thought they'd taken the lead, but not to be. Signs that Wolves are starting to offer a bit more in this game.
Yeah, they should score. They really should. I mean, Arias puts himself in a great position. He's out wide to that right hand side. He's rich on pace. I mean, he gets contact. So for me, he should score. He's reaching, but 40 yards out. He's really putting the press on.
Liverpool into the box, and it's a bit of a scruffy clearance by Morato. Wolves have come out swinging in this second period, as we see John Arias shaking his head. Brilliant opportunity for him. Should have been 1-0.
Yeah, should. Rob Edwards knows that should have been the first goal. That's been the difference. I mean, Winston really has more questions, but Wolves are playing something a little bit different in the second half.
Period of pressure at the Emirates, and it's coming from Brentford as Jensen swings in the corner. Really good header away to clear the penalty area. Made by Nkapie. Here is the Wolves corner, and it's deflected on its way towards goal. They keep their foot on it here, Wolves.
An easy one for you to take that head on. Oh, near him at all. It's a big deflection out from the other corner. He does well just to stand big.
And Wolves capitalise on this positive period after the restart. Still searching for their first victory of the season. Just 2 touches in the Forest box in the first half. They've already matched that since half time. Much better from Rob Edwards' team. Phillipson Nottingham Ridgeways really have to find something. They of course know that they're fighting an incredibly uphill battle to try and survive. So we go back to the Emirates, and Buddy Graham makes a clean claim to see if he can send Arsenal on their way, but he's just held up before he tries to find Declan Rice. He from Pinnock gets himself in the way, but a good start to the second period by Keith Andrews' side.
Yeah, they've been excellent, haven't they? Great start. It's in it. More dominant. That's why I feel that Arsenal, this is where they're so good. They can just attract, just feel that they can defend, but there's always a concern that you can concede a goal that changes game completely. And it would have been brilliant to keep Andrews the way he's set up. He feels that there's an opportunity here of taking something at the Emirates.
So the action areas since we got back underway at the Emirates. Now Brentford have been asking the question, able to find a way through. Of course, Arsenal depleted defensively this evening. William Saliba or Gabriel and Christian Mosquera to be replaced as well in the first half. Shireen Timber coming on in his place. Tough game coming up at the weekend as well for Arsenal. Travel to Villa Park on Saturday. There all the scores from the other games going on this evening. Of course, you can see 4 of them here on Sky Sports Multiview. If you want to watch the 2 games which kicked off at 8:15, Leeds ahead against Chelsea by a goal to 0. That one's on Sky Sports Premier League. Liverpool against Sunderland. What an interesting game that is at Anfield. You can see that one on Sky Sports Football. But why would you want to leave us on Multiview? All the goals as they go in. We'll bring you the goals from the 8:15s. You can see everything that happens on your screen in the 7:30s. It's been quite the night so far. Plenty going on here at the Emirates as Brentford look to find a way level. Brighton Villa have served up a really entertaining game so far this evening. Locked together at 2-2. Palace leading at Burnley and at Molineux. You await the breakthrough, but Nottingham Forest have a free kick here in an interesting position. You see that bottom right of your screen as Brentford come forwards here. Here's Yarmouk. Happy to just play patient in possession, so we'll go to Molineux and see what Nottingham Forest can do from this set-piece situation. Morgan Gibbs-White has been in brilliant form, hasn't he, Lee, since Sean Dyche came to the club?
Yeah, he has a big player, isn't he? I think he's got to perform on a consistent level. This season in particular as well. Some eyes are on him.
Free kick comes in and it's tipped around the post by Sam Johnston. Really smart stop to keep it at 0-0 and denying Nico Williams.
Yeah, it's a great free kick as well. It's one of them where you utilise the wall, bend it right round, so it's going to cause a problem, hit the target. Uses Gomez as a little bit of a marker, but brilliant save from Sam Johnson for a corner.
In comes that corner, it's Johnston who clubs it away, got really good distance on that touch. Forest looking to keep the pressure on here. Up it comes to the edge of the Wolves box, the header away.
Just feels like this game's just about to open up a tad, doesn't it? It's with the opportunity Wolves had. It's been 1-0 actually. I do feel that Forest might just raise the fact if Wolves come out a little bit more rather than sitting deep. Might just open this game up a tad.
Takes me on the way in this evening, Lee. Said this would be the game. I said I'd hold you to that. No goals so far. Rob Edwards unbeaten in his 3 games as a manager against Sean Dyche, and he never lost to them in his playing career as well, as we see that punch away from Sam Johnson, who just moments before made a really smart stop to line Nico Williams from the free kick. We go to the Amex. Can Villa complete the comeback here? They were 2-0 down 29 minutes into the night. Ollie Watkins had his say. Threatening here. What can they make from this corner? Comes towards the front post. He's headed away by Diego Gomez. Last visiting side to win in the Premier League at the Amex. Victory back in April. 10 games played in the Premier League since then. Down on the south coast, Brighton haven't lost any of them. Palace looking for a second. Dubravka manages to make the save. Here's Tyreek Mitchell, who scored in this fixture last season. And Burnley looking to break, but it's Palace back on the ball, leading dangerously. Burnley and cannot afford to go 2-0 behind, given just how much they struggle for goals.
Yeah, I think Scott Parker's looking at maybe making changes as well. As you could understand, they have to get back into this game. This is a big fixture for Burnley and Scott Parker. That should have been 2-0. Arteta was doing brilliantly again. He's been an outstanding this season.
Winless in their last 28 Premier League matches and trailing at half-time. Stretches all the way back to April 2022 as Palace go in search of a second. Intent of the target inside the penalty area. Breaks to Aaron Wharton, finds Chris Richards. Palace unbeaten in all 7 of their Premier League meetings with Burnley when they've been ahead at half-time. Chance for Burnley to break, but we go to the Emirates. Martinelli now into the Brentford box. He looks to cross, but again Brentford just look how many bodies they've got back inside their own box protecting. Moving Keller as well.
It's a brilliant work ethic from Andrews Brentford. Possession they get back in their numbers, they make it hard for teams. Brentford has got to change, I think it does. Have a really good season, couldn't they? So well organised.
He's getting back to full fitnesses. It's been a weird season for him. WatchAlong. Madueke, of course, has only just returned to fitness as well, looking to sneak his way through a couple of challenges. Able to clear it away from Brentford. Timber. Just been caught in possession here, but he does really well to keep Arsenal on the ball. Declan Rice, Brentford looking to apply a bit of a squeeze here. So shifting the ball across his body though, isn't he, Declan Rice? Now Martinelli, Kyoto steps in and comes across to win the ball back.
That's it from Kyoto, he comes right across. Martinelli, squeeze on here.
Christopher Adjek. Arsenal have won their last 8 Premier League games when they've been leading at half-time by an aggregate score of 20-2. Here's Kevin Schade as Brentford on the attack once again, but it's an attack which breaks down. Now Rice looking for that switch of play, looking to get Madueke on the ball, but it's dealt with by Van den Berg. Rico Henry hasn't started too many games this season, but thrown in by Keith Andrews tonight. Two games, of course, got underway at 8:15 this evening, both available to you in full on Sky Sports. And Trey Hume coming close to putting Sunderland into the lead at Anfield, striking the crossbar. Plenty behind it. Allison with a tip onto the frame of the goal. It's a really interesting game this tonight, isn't it, Dave?
Yeah, really interesting one that we'll keep tabs on. It's a brilliant save there, wasn't it, from Allison? But how good have Sunderland been this season? So good to watch.
Brilliant story, hasn't it? And Regis from Priest's side have adapted to life back in the Premier League. The changes are coming for Brentford. Igor Thiago, Mikkel Damsgaard and Jordan Henderson all coming on. Brighton look to get themselves back in front against Aston Villa. Kadioglu looks to send in the cross, but it's one that frustrates managers, isn't it? No need for him to be offside there. To Molyneux, still waiting for a goal here. See Wolves asking a few questions, but we've also seen Sam Johnson bailing out his side as well. Wolves looking to move further away from the relegation zone. Wolves looking for a first Premier League win of the season. A first Premier League win in 18 games, stretching back to the last campaign. Haven't won since they beat Leicester in April. It's been such a difficult season at Molyneux. Will tonight be the night in which they get their season going? Burnley looking to get themselves level. Chansiri strikes Lyle Foster. There was an appeal for a handball following the previous effort. Change at the Emirates as well, as you'll see right hand side of your screen. Really Madueke making way, as too is Gabriel Martinelli, the player Saka. Saka, one of the players who's coming on. I don't think there was any much in that though, was there?
No, definitely not. I mean, it's a great strike from Foster, but it's great defending also. Palace are all about that there. I mean, this is one that just takes an eternity to come down for somebody takes on that strike and defending from Mitchell.
Having more of the ball so far this evening. Forrest on the front foot. Murray Hutchinson denied by Sam Johnston. He's keeping his side in this game right now.
Yeah, he has. He's been so instrumental in this game, hasn't he? Some of the saves he's made, and Hutchinson here, far too easy, takes a strike on at the near post. One thing you would say is, could he go back across goal? Players are queuing up. Wolves weren't too happy, I think, with the decision. They should have had a foul then. Just went on and had that attack.
2 defeats so far for Rob Edwards in his 2 games in charge. Tight game at Molineux as we go back to the end. The ball just run out of play. You can see the flag was up from the assistant over on the far side, and it's been raised once again. And it was goal lead for Mikel Arteta's team. And the weekend at Stamford Bridge, in which they played against 10 men for the majority of it. Saka thrown on by Arteta as he looks to another 3 points. Been so good at home, haven't they, this season? Unbeaten in their last 17 games, home and away in all competitions. The longest unbeaten run they've had since Arteta took charge. Here's Brun Larsen for Burnley. Make something happen here. They're going to just pose Palace a few problems. Edwards, as you can see, has been brought on as a substitute. One forward finds Hannibal, another player who's been brought on by Scott Parker. Palace standing firm. Ronaldo hasn't taken off it. We go to the Emirates. Brentford back on the ball. Changes all made by Keith Andrews, Henderson, Thiago and Damsgaard all on now. They've stayed in the game at the Emirates. 5 changes made from the weekend by Keith Andrews, and now he sends on some of these players who have had a real impact for them this season. Not more so, of course, than Thiago. Aston Villa 2-2 down at the Annex. Villa were 2-0 down. Strike comes in. Straightforward save for Barkley Bruggen.
Yes, very routine as you'd expect Bruggen to make.
This on that turf more for Burnley, but corner just breaking down a little for them, although they remain in possession. Players queued up inside the penalty area here. Hannibal sweeps in the cross, it breaks to Brentford, crashes off the crossbar. What a save that was! Tipped on to the frame of the goal by Dean Henderson. It was lashed towards goal. Still a threat on here. Here's Edwards.
Some strike, wasn't it, from Larsen? He felt he'd scored. He kept off with a brilliant save, wasn't it, from Henderson? Really starting to up the ante. Burnley, the changes made. Combining here, Hannibal to Larsen. He takes that strike on. Deep cross. Good first touch, and then he strikes it right, and a brilliant save from Henderson in goal. Again, it's been remarkable in goal, hasn't he, for Palace? That is a good big save.
Scott Parker making 3 changes, 3 substitutions, I should say. Larsen, Edwards, and Hannibal all coming on. Game of the night so far at the Annex is Villa. To ask questions, they'll have to settle for a corner here.
Deep cross for back there, trying to just refilter that ball back into the St-John area. There's lots of basketball players trying to What a remarkable game this has been. I'm sure it's not over. Still 30 minutes to play. Big Banana, he rises at the back post, doesn't he, with a brilliant delivery from Cash. I think his corner's going to be great. That ball was right on the money for Banana. Just have a look at where he comes from. Towards that back post. He's not picked up, he's on the marking. And then it's all about, can you execute the header? Yes, of course he can. Straight down into the ground. But Bruggen's got no chance. And Villa have turned this thing massively on its head.
That looks on the Brighton bench. I'm going to do it again there. That's 2 Premier League away victories have come after conceding the opening goal. Unai Emery delighted with what he's seen from his side. Still half an hour to play down there. Who knows which way it will turn next? Some game. Brighton and Aston Villa are serving up.
Oh, that's a outrageous game, that is. The Annex. Villa fans absolutely going crazy for obvious reasons. I would have thought that it was going to be a big task for them to get back into that game, and now they lead.
Good, but with the cross after a great search forward by Carlos Belliva, Kuba Minte unable we said would be the game of the night at Molyneux, where we're still waiting for a goal. Will it come now as Forest send it into the Wolves penalty area?
I wish I'd have said that, to be quite honest, but there's still plenty of time. There's still plenty of time, and this game is opening up a tad. A few changes, a little spark, and we'll see some goals in this.
25 minutes to play at Molyneux as Wolves picks up possession. Should have put Wolves into the lead early in the second half. Just a reminder that you can see all of these games individually across our channels on Sky Sports this evening, as well as the two 8:15 kickoffs between Leeds and Chelsea and Liverpool and Sunderland, and bring you any goals that happen in those two later kickoffs once we're on air here on Sky Sports. Leeds still ahead at Ellen Road against Chelsea, looking to escape the relegation zone this evening. Until for the first goal at Anfield, Sunderland have come close. Showed you earlier, Troy Hughes striking the crossbar of his effort, tipped on to the frame off the goal. And it's about 5 minutes to go in the first half of those games, and Jan Kuba-Minte looks to lead the Brighton response here. Incredible from Villa, 2-0 down, and leading 3-2. Brighton have plenty of time to work with this night as well, in which Lewis Dunk is making his 500th appearance for the club. Good job he had some senior players alongside him on his first Brighton appearance in 2008. I think you were hooked by this stage, huh? Was that?
Cold shout for me.
Shot from distance and wide.
Brighton, well, they scored so many goals later on that day, and of course, no side have scored more goals from their substitutes this season than Fabio Hurtel's team, as Arsenal went in search of the second in the Emirates. Rice letting fly from range. And Callaway with a smart stop. I've shown us a few times that Rice is more than capable from distance, isn't he? And he brought a good save there out of Keegan Callaway.
Yeah, he did. I mean, it's one of them that's hard that he has to get down and take the sting out of that, which he doesn't. Can't capitalise on the follow-up from super strike from Declan Rice from distance.
The action just keeps on coming, doesn't it, down at the Amex? But there's been another goal as well at Ellen Road, and we'll show you that in a moment. Leeds well ahead by a goal to nil against Chelsea. Well, their night has just got even better. How about
Oh
this?
my God. It's 2-0.
With a wonderful try.
Leeds.
From range, Connie. He's done it again. What a night that is turning into at Ellen Road. Leeds 2, Chelsea 0.
Some game that is as well. Leeds in need of a big win in the Premier League this season. You just can't call it, can you? You can't get to grips with some of the results that the weekend had since the start of the Premier League season.
Amazing.
People have been talking up possibly Chelsea's chances of a title tilt this season, but they're finding out tonight that you have to be on it every single game in the Premier League. What a strike that was by Tanaka. On the South Coast, Brighton looking to draw level. Can't quite get on it. A header across goal. This would be just the third time in the Premier League that Aston Villa come from 2-0 down away from home to win if they see it through. The last time that happened, Lee, all the way back in 2005 against Southampton. How about it been over 20 years?
Yeah, it's some time back that is, isn't it? You do feel that it's a big ass still. Mike can turn to their bench as well. The likes of Danny Welbeck, who's been outstanding. I do feel the changes will be made. They will have to throw everything at it. Particularly the fact that they were 2-0 up.
From here, we've seen his ability to launch it in from these long throws. In it comes, and Christian's being asked of Arsenal as hopes to nod it away. Calafiori's just going to try and thumped it as far away from his own goal as possible.
I'll tell you what, this game really hangs in the balance of that, doesn't it? Because whether it stays 1-0, you feel the pressure just mounts on Arsenal. I've been really impressed with Brentford this evening. Really worked the area as well, making the changes at such a key time. That proves that the game's there to me.
Almost half-time at Anfield. We saw Sunderland go close earlier in the game, and Liverpool have just got close as well. Alexis McAllister with the header. Strikes the post. No way through on this occasion for Arne Slot's side. We go to Molyneux. Into the final 20 minutes here. We saw Tim Robinson, didn't we, chalk off the Forest goal in the first half. Sean Dyche's side denied Damon standing in front of Sam Johnston. Jesus thought he got his first Premier League goal since coming to the club. And Wolves find a way to grab a goal here and win for the first time in the Premier League this season. The only side in the top 4 tiers of English football without a league win so far this season. Just 2 points picked up, the fewest they've ever had at this stage of a league season in their history. They need something to happen for them. Villa on the front foot, looking like this has been. You get the feeling there's still a twist or 2 to come down on the south coast.
Yeah, it feels like there's goals might still come in that game. I mean, it hasn't been one hoop and affair, and that's why we've seen 5 goals there. Watkins, he'll be looking and maybe thinking to take the match ball home this evening.
Incredible run at Aston Villa, have been on 7 victories in their last 8 Premier League games. Anfield, it's half time between Liverpool and Sunderland in one of our 8:15 kickoffs, 0-0. Both sides coming close to an opening goal. Problem. Ian Henderson at Turf Moor. You can see bottom right of your screen as the ball comes into the Brighton box. Once again, Villa now going in search of a fourth. Matty Cash looks to whip one in. It's dealt with by the leader. Now we're there, but now a chance perhaps for Brighton to break. Top right of your screen, there's been a goal. The breakthrough has come at Molyneux. He was denied in the first half. His goal chalked up, but Igor Jesus has put Nottingham Forest into the league. This is how it happened. Could be such a crucial goal. Molyneux, the cross coming in from Hutchinson. He was tempted off his line, wasn't he, Sam Johnston? And he didn't get there. He pays the price. Forest in the lead.
Yeah, it's a great ball in the box from Hutchinson, who's been brought into the side to bring that creativity, which he does onto his left foot, and then Sam Johnston makes a big call, comes off his line. Does he really have to? I'm not so sure. It ends up being disastrous for Wolves with a goal against. Just really feel that they were having a good edge in this second half. Still no shots on target. It's just 1-0 down at Molyneux. Big ask for them to try and turn this round.
Goals in all 4 of our 7:30 kickoffs now this evening. Will Jesus in Nottingham Forest in front. Great ball in from Amari Hutchinson. Dutch was saying about him how sharp he'd been looking and really putting himself into the picture to get himself into the starting lineup. That's exactly what he did this evening. One change made by Sean Dyche. Don't worry, there hasn't been a goal. Bottom right of your screen if you're seeing Daniel Munoz celebrating. Just what happened in the first half. It is the only goal in that game. Tight game at Turf Moor as it is here at Molyneux. Tight game as well at the Emirates. Arsenal's lead given to them by Mikel Moreno early in the game. Brighton have had some chances. Arsenal have had chances to extend their lead as well. Into the final 15 minutes now. Can Mikel Arteta's side see it through? We've seen Keith Andrews make plenty of changes. One of those, Mikel Damsgaard on the ball now. Thiago loitering there, just peeling off the back of his defender. The ball switched out to this near side to Yarmouth.
Real confidence about Brentford, that's for sure. As it plays them coming to the Emirates and coming up against this Arsenal side. To ask questions, they have done it. When they've been in good areas and they push bodies forward and last. The question, just wonder whether they can go and get that equalising goal. Changes that. Moving on. Thiago.
Into the box by Yarmouth, and it goes behind, and will have themselves a corner here. It looked as if when we saw the team selection tonight from Keith Andrews that he wanted to keep it tight, wanted to make it awkward for Arsenal. He left a lot of the big names on the bench. Of course, that game plan altered a little when they fell behind so early, but they've had some good moments this evening, and they've got a chance here again from this set piece. Changes being made by Oliver Glasner at Turf Moor as we see how Igor Thiago hasn't really got into the game so far. Just the 2 touches for him, and they both come around the centre circle, but maybe he can get himself on the end of this corner here, which is swept into the front post. Arsenal able to deal with it. Declan Rice with the header away.
That's the other good thing about Arsenal. They defend so well, don't they? Attack well as well, also, that we can see here.
And Wolves get themselves back into the game. It skips its way through to Matt Sells. Is it to be defeat yet again for Wolves this season? To the annex, and Villa so nearly found themselves a ball on for Bruggen with the save.
Save from Bruggen. Catch making that run forward. Playing from the side. See the little bit of move when it comes off, and then just tries to keep that ball at bay, but sees Bruggen to help him out with a big save.
Outside has brought on Danny Welbeck. An attempt to get Brighton back into the game. They take some touch in the second half, and they have some defending to do here as John McGinn is behind this Aston Villa corner. In the end in which their 4,000 fans are housed this evening, it's been sunlight for them. Sends it in. It's a deep delivery, and it's a delivery which is too deep to the Emirates. Calafiori for Arsenal. It's one of the tough games for Mikel Arteta's side right now. They sort of Tottenham with style, Bayern Munich with style as well. Tricky one at the bridge for them on Sunday, from which they left with a point. Brentford giving them a real game tonight, and they head to Villa Park as well at the weekend. But right now they're on course to pick up all 3 points.
For the December fixtures look really good for Arsenal. I think if they come away here with 3 points, it's a big game for them the weekend. You touched on against Villa, but then you have the likes of Wolves, of Everton, Palace, Brighton, Villa again. You do feel that really put them and team them up going into the new year.
It's the stage of games in which Brentford really do some damage. 10 goals they've scored beyond the 76th minute. 3 of them came at the weekend in that 3-1 win at home to Burnley. Can they find one here tonight at the Emirates to take something from this game? Mikel Arteta knows that his side have to stay switched on here.
Yeah, he's demanding the urgency, isn't he? He knows he's getting to that prime time where Brentford are very dangerous. They are capable of scoring a goal or creating something that might just spark that off. They have been excellent in this second half. As I said, the game plan, the tactics from Keith Andrews has been brilliant. They do need that goal.
So as Brentford have to throw bodies forward, just leave some spaces for Arsenal to exploit. So it's also been brought on by Keith Andrews. Down's gone. Possession cheaply, sends it straight to Eze, who finds Declan Rice. Bit of room for him to move into here. Declan Rice, is he going to have a go? He is. So good effort from distance a few minutes ago. Perhaps an opportunity to break the top. Plenty of pace, but he's not going to get the better of Julian Timber there. He just gives it back to David Ryan.
From Timber there. Tara can cause problems. He's got pace, energy to burn. So he's Timber.
There's no way of knowing where the points are going in all 4 of our games. We're on Sky Sports Multiview. 1 goal leads currently being held by Aston Villa, Nottingham Forest, Arsenal and Crystal Palace. Stay with us and we'll show you all the late drama as it happens. It's been over 8 hours now since Wolves scored a goal in the Premier League. Can they find one here late on against Nottingham Forest? Not sure the Nets see that player to score for them. That happened all the way back on the 26th of October. Ball comes into the box. Well dealt with. Brilliant header away and a foul spotted in there by the referee, Tim Robinson, as well. So a bit of respite for Nottingham Forest. Arsenal looking to seal the deal at the Emirates into the final 10 minutes now. A half-fought victory if they get over the line. What's another goal? Saka. Interesting turning, trying to make a bit of room for himself on the edge of the area. Both sides want the decision. It's going to be a goal kick.
They want that second goal, don't they, Arsenal? They do, they need to find it, I feel. And the likes of Eze and Saka, who can instigate that. It hasn't quite happened since they've come on, in all fairness.
8 goals so far in our 4-7-30 kickoffs. We've had 2 as well at Ellen Road, linked in a fabulous position against Chelsea, leading by 2 goals problem here for Declan Rice. Actually with his right calf, desperately asking that this isn't anything too serious. Already got some big name players out injured. We go to Turf Moor, and Burnley save something from this night, or is it to be 5 successive defeats for Scott Parker's team? Substitutions happening at the Amex. Brighton need to find a way back into the game. Charalontas Kostulas is going to come on for them. A reminder that Brighton have been better than any other side in terms of getting goal involvements from their substitutes this season. 5 more than any other side. 23 since Fabian Mertela took charge of the club. Veltman also coming on here. Is there a way back into this game for Brighton?
Making the changes is really big for Brighton. They need something now, don't they? Sheer disappointment. It's been 2-0 up and Villa turning the tables.
Marlon coming on and he manages to flip that back on. Can they wrap it up here? But Rugen with the save, but it's in. His first touch was it for Daniel Marlon. He's only just come on. And Villa now lead by 4-2. Have they wrapped it up down on the South Coast? Is it to be a 6th successive win in all competitions for Unai Emery's side? They were 2-0 down 29 minutes into the night. Now on course to pick up all 3 points. A remarkable night down at the Amex, and you can see the frustration on the faces of the Brighton players.
They all looked a little bit scruffy as that ball came into the box. And it comes out to that far post where Kings gets that header back into an area. Lots of Villa players queuing up. Well, don't deal with it. It's like hits it down, just a big save, and then Marlon makes his first touch there. Just takes that shot and just hits it towards the goal. The goalkeeper, the Bullets made the save, he's down. He's not down with what a result that would be. Aston Villa will be 2-0 down. Want to come in on and making an impact. He's been in great form this season.
Just 35 seconds after he came on, Daniel Marlon, they are just checking a possible offside just to see if Amadou Onana got a touch on it. I don't think that he did. He was trying to nick the goal off him. If it is to stand, it would be a 4-2 lead for Aston Villa. Maybe Lee, we'll be talking about your former club as title contenders.
What should we mean? This was the thing with Aston Villa, the poor start, and they've turned a huge corner and also starting to come from over, generating their goals and come from outside the box, which they couldn't go through a season. Keep doing so. Tonight has been a big difference, a big response as well from going 2-0 down away from home. Shows the calibre of the squad and Emery's pride to that team.
Dreadful start to the season for Aston Villa, but they're on course for a 6th successive win in all competitions and an 8th Premier League win in 9 games. In those 9 games, no side has picked up more points than them. Stand 6 points they would be off Arsenal before they take them on at Villa Park at the weekend. They're desperately be hoping that Brentford can find an equaliser at the Emirates, tighten it up somewhat. It's just the replay bottom right of your screen of the only goal in that game in North London, which came so early in the night. Of course, plenty to thank David Ryan for as well. That stunning save you might be looking at the bottom right of your screen to deny Kevin Sharner. So Villa with a 2-goal cushion, long way back now for Brighton with just 10 minutes left to play. We're talking about a title push, won't they, Lee, if they keep this up?
Yeah, I'm not certainly think so. And then when you look at Aston Villa, can they keep this up? I do feel that the squad depth that he has, his parent, Emery, he's worked it well, utilised it in European competitions, obviously in the league also, his goals coming from everywhere.
Pushing to try and find a fifth here. Morgan Rogers advancing. With the points, of course, behind Manchester City, Aston Villa, if they see this one through this evening. Rogers with so much room there as he was able to advance, looking to link up with Daniel Marlon, just pushed it too far in front of him.
Completely capitulated, haven't they? Brighton going into a massive game of the weekend. Talking about title racing up against the Arsenal side and Villa's form at Villa Park. It's a Massive game that is for both sides.
Score goals from inside the box. Apparently Aston Villa have scored plenty of them tonight. Burnley now with a free kick at Turf Moor late in the game. Can they find a leveller? Can they find what would be a precious point here to stop the rot? 4 successive defeats for Scott Parker's side. But a free kick now in a prime position. Can they capitalise upon it? Henderson organising his more huge moments in the game at Turf Moor. Scott Parker had called on the Burnley crowd to believe in a siege mentality. He felt that was what they were going to need this season if they were to have any hopes of survival. Can they rescue something late in the night here? Big chance for them. Plenty of contenders standing behind this free kick.
Yeah, an opportunity, a big one. This one throw comes into the box to test Arsenal defensively.
Towards the back post.
Ooh,
Off
right.
at the Annex. Brighton have got themselves a goal. Jean-Paul Van Hecker running back to halfway. 7 goals tonight in this game between the sides, which started the night in 4th and 5th place in the Premier League. Well, we know that Brighton can come on strong late in games, and they are not giving up. Glorious finish by Van Hecker, his 2nd of the night.
Yeah, just look where he picks the ball up. It's brilliant. Really, it's a super goal. He starts the attack, just gets into a more advanced area, but the finish, I mean, it's exquisite. It really is outside the box. Reverse. Pass Bizot, no chance at all. I mean, we have got a game on our hands here at the Annex.
9 goals at Craven Cottage last night, 7 at the Annex. So far this evening, are there to be more goals? Well, there's been a beautiful game between 2 and 4 teams. Can Arsenal find a second goal at the Emirates? This so nearly did, top right of your screen. Into the final 90 seconds of the 90 there, and this is how Arsenal almost sealed the points.
Yeah, this one really close. If you want to get close to them, Saka just can't get the contact, the purchase on that strike. It's a good save, but he pushes it away. To be quite honest, you feel that Saka should score, doesn't get the contact to stick it in that near post. Big game over.
To Ibrahim Callagher, who managed to reach across and keep that out. They are underway at Anfield in one of our games. They've got underway at 8:15. Liverpool Sunderland is available to you on Sky Sports Football. Will Salah has been brought on by Armstrong. There are the latest scores for you this evening. Sky Sports Football for Liverpool Sunderland. Sky Sports Premier League for Leeds and Chelsea. The other 8:15 game from the Falcons side. Having a great time of it so far. Chelsea though find a way back in that game. Final seconds at the Emirates. Brentford still very much in this game. 1 goal leads in 3, almost 1-0 leads in 3 of our games here on Sky Sports Multiview. Aston Villa also having a 1-goal advantage at the Annex, where Brighton are pushing for an equaliser. Might just be a chance for them here, and he goes just wide. Jack Hitchell's deflected on his way towards goal. Appealing for ball there. Surrounding the referee. Arsenal win. Can they wrap it up? Here's Saka.
Goal. 2 goal Arsenal. 5 points.
Well, they've had some tough times tonight, but it's all smiles for Saka and Mikel Arteta. They're going to get the job done against Brentford.
Yeah, they are. Really have to get Brentford. They've got to make their business brilliant. They've worked so hard off the ball. When having the ball, picking times when to go forward. But this is what Arsenal are all about. Not always pretty, not always having it their own way. They haven't at all this evening. Because Brentford have made it really hard, and that's why Mikel Arteta's had to turn to his bench. And Saka coming up, we should have missed that opportunity moments ago where we thought he should have scored. He's made amends here. This is how good Arsenal are when they turn the ball over quickly. And to Saka makes that run inside. Then he's still got a little bit to do. Cuts inside and takes a strike on. Kelly does well, it's a reaction save, but unfortunately can't keep it out of the goal. Just trickles in. Ball through to Saka. Shots back on his left foot. Really disappointing from Kelleher. He should have done better. Really good finish for Arsenal. That's exactly received it.
Fourth Premier League goal of the season for Saka, his first at the Emirates since the 2-0 win over West Ham back in October. Desperately scrambling back to try and prevent it from crossing the line. It's been brave from Brentford tonight, but they are going to be beaten in North London. Arsenal imperious at home. They're going to be 18 games unbeaten in all competitions. It is an incredible run on the Mikel Arteta side are on right now. Wolves pushing. Molyneux, Wolves having an opportunity there. You can see right hand side of your screen. So Arsenal comfortable, but just one goal in it in the other three 7:30 kickoffs tonight. Can Brighton find an equaliser in the little time that remains? Jean-Paul Van Hecke scored 2 goals for them tonight. He only scored 2 goals in his previous 106 games for Brighton. Can Villa see it through? You'd expect a few nervy minutes as they try and see it through. It's still a long way from getting themselves over the line. 2.5 minutes to play. Can Villa hold out? Only just had a chance. Bottom right of your screen, Scott Parker's side. Not with too much time to work with. And find an equaliser against Crystal Palace. We go to Derby. They are 2 minutes into 6 minutes added on.
Wow.
The misjudgment there. He got away with Dean Henderson as he came out to try and punch this ball away. Mightily relieved them. Chris Richards was there to clear away in front of goal.
Two ball starts in heights.
Come on. I don't think he knows an awful lot about it, does he? Might even come off the back rather than the header. To the rescue, clears that ball away.
Brighton do so much damage late on in games. Tearing this throwing forward. Header on a hat-trick, of course. Trying to get his head on this. And on against something on it. Hitchell with the strike. Plenty of bodies in the way, and they managed to clear it away. But still time for Brighton to work with. Here's the Koita. He flights it forward. The back across and it'll break it for Danny Welbeck. Scuffs his effort. Tillemans, but he's dispossessed by De Koita. It's going to be tough for Villa these last few moments.
Yeah, backs against the wall, isn't it? For Aston Villa away from home. I think it's all the questions, throwing bodies forward. This is all about digging deep for Aston Villa.
As Lewis thought Morgan's right being replaced. And Molyneux, we see right inside of your screen as the ball's heading towards goal. It's taken in by Bizot, who of course came into Aston Villa side tonight with Martinez injured in the warm-up. This is the only game which is still in normal time. Our other matches now in time added on, and Palace desperately battling away to protect these 3 points. Can Scott Parker's side find a goal as he bangles instruction to his side? To Molyneux, Wolves going in search of an equaliser. 3 minutes into 5 added on. Had so little to cheer this season. Can there be late drama? Is Rob Edwards about to be beaten yet again? It would be 3 defeats in 3 games in charge for him.
Here we go.
Forest looked to put the seal on victory. Here's Igor Jesus, scorer.
Forest
Goal this evening.
looking to seal the deal.
Looked out wide. Looks as if Forest are happy to just try and run down the clock here.
6 minutes. Another 5 points.
6 minutes have been added on in the game down at the Amex. Plenty of time still for Fabian to his side to try and find an equalising goal. There is not much time left though for Wolves to try and save something. Or for Burnley.
Oh, goal at the
20 seconds of stoppage time to play, but an opportunity here to
Leeds
keep the pressure on.
Chelsea.
Yeah, lots of possession in this second half and really forced Palace back to defend. This could be a huge result for Palace.
Palace beaten in their last 2 games. He's bouncing around inside their box, but Larson, who hit the bar earlier on in the game. Burnley keeping it alive. All time at the Emirates, Arsenal have got the job done. Goals early and late in the game. From Mikel Moreno and Bukayo Saka. See Arsenal's unbeaten run stretched to 18 games. Aston Villa the challenge.
That could be 8 clear by next week. And they play Aston Villa.
Back in North London to take on Tottenham and Thomas Frank on Saturday. Time desperately running out for Wolves. Can they create one more goal scoring opportunity. That might
That's
just
too
be
low.
that. As the free kick's given away, Sean Dyche pointing to his watch, asking for how much longer they will play.
I'm sure that will be doing the same, won't he? Want that final whistle as soon as possible.
Burnley have to get on with things here. Here's Hannibal. Still Hannibal here. Can he come up with a delivery? The cross comes in, brilliantly defended. There's still more defending to do, and it comes once again. The delivery is disappointing, and Oliver Glasner,
Palace have won.
a sigh
Totally
of
wrong.
relief, can celebrate. Crystal Palace back to winning ways, and
Totally.
back to Molineux we go. Still we play on
Exactly.
Strand Larson.
Palace won. This is sad.
Best use of possession perhaps, and Sean Dyche still looking at
Dyche
his
is
watch.
done.
But a narrow victory tonight for Nottingham Forest. Wolves remain
Right.
winners at just one game. Still going in our 7:30 games, and we've still got plenty of time on the board and the Amex. Brighton searching for an equaliser. 2-0 up tonight after 29 minutes. Aston Villa roared back into the game to take a 4-2 lead. Jean-Paul Van Hecker making it 4-3. Is there still to be a twist to the tail between these two sides?
Yeah, just feel there's going to be a big chance in this game. It has been all evening. I mean, it's really been an end-to-end affair. Lots of opportunities. Obviously, lots of goals we've seen.
So many goals in this game. Could there be another? Here's the Kuita. 11 goals tonight. 7:30 kickoffs tonight. Will be a 12. Aston Villa edging closer to what would be a massive victory for Marlon. He's going to go for goal here. Daniel Marlon. See what he wanted to do. He had Quindia available to his left-hand side as well. Opted to take it on himself. And now Brighton can get moving once again. Van Hecker.
We will be, I'm sure, hoping that nothing comes of that, because that was an opportunity to go and take it into the corner or maybe pinpoint it around. It's Brighton got the attack.
Breaks on the edge of the
Oh!
post. The header towards goal. Bizon with a
Score that.
fantastic reaction save.
I don't
Villa are claiming
think
offside.
could be 4-4.
Standing piece of goalkeeping to keep Villa in a 4-3 lead.
Once again, this has been the shot that's dragged. It's not great with Welbeck. What do you think? He just gets the touch as he does. So it makes a really good save.
Villa bending but not breaking since the 75th minute. 45% of the game has been played in Aston Villa's defensive third. A few words needed here as things are starting to fray. A couple of minutes still of stoppage time to go though. No one leaving early at the Annex tonight. How would you? It's been a breathless encounter. To the side. In comes the corner. Right towards goal. It's a whisker wide. Brighton so close to an equaliser. Hanging on.
The ball in from Minton. Whips it pace. Welbeck gets the contact. He knows he should have been better. The shot's been dragged. Welbeck has to adjust straight down the throat. He makes that big save to have it over the bar. It's a good reaction save, isn't it, with the right arm?
Save. Michael Bizon, who of course made a mistake earlier in the game from which Brighton took the lead, but a save there to protect his team's 4-3 lead here. Villa desperately wanting the full-time whistle to come, but still around about a minute for Brighton here to try and rescue a point. It's Lewis done under immense pressure, but he tucked away from it magnificently. Strong challenge comes in. This one Villa need to keep a force to go back to the Bruyne.
One last chance for them. Goes deep long. Hecker looking for a hat-trick.
Hecker staying up. Brighton have to keep the bodies forward here, but Villa get the free kick. And that will alleviate the pressure. It might just be enough to get them through. They stare up to each other. Brighton will be so frustrated having led 2-0 tonight. One of the games of the season so far in the Premier League. And Aston Villa on the verge of leaving the South Coast with all 3 points. They get 8 wins in 9 Premier League games.
Liverpool near quiet. Manchester City. It's a false there. It's another game that's still been playing with Chelsea Leeds. Losing at Leeds.
Villa have won, that's third.
Unai Emery's side
That
will
was
come out on
one.
top in a classic on the South Coast. From 2-0 down early on, they got into a 4-2 lead. Brighton found a way back into the game, but Villa over the line. An incredible night, incredible scoreline, and a massive 3-point lead for Aston Villa.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, look at the title race. I know it's early doors, but going into this December, Christmas period, it's massive for having momentum, and that's what Villa have at this moment in time. Credit being 2-0 down and having that response. I find that Brighton were going to go pretty closely. Burnley and Wolves, what a win for us, Villa in particular. They took it down in that. That's the difference. I mean, obviously pressing or not for that. It's the
Awesome. Awesome. Oh, nuts. Oh my God. Hit the post.
Goodness me. The side of the post.
Goodness me.
It's Chelsea. Offside. Palmer's also involved in that game, which was appearance since September the 20th. Curtis Jones coming on. Here. Please go this. So shifting perhaps to stay in on that right back position. Gomez. Maybe. Most defenders are seeing it with the ball, so you might feel something, but maybe do something with it.
More quality in the 12, more pressure, of course, this game gets to 90 minutes. Difficulty coming to the penalty there.
Salah. Somersley. Cristiano Ronaldo. Jones. Salah. Somersley. Jones. Robertson. And run behind one. When you look at Sunderland tonight, they've been so comfortable, but particularly when you look at Dan Ballard. I mean, this Sunderland faced Newcastle in the cup a couple of years ago. You think that Ballard has seen a penalty and scored an own goal, and he's scored twice in that game. I think ultimately, when he got involved, it's not very solid on that line. He's time on the ball with the air is pretty usual. It's picked up by Isidore. Fleetwood touch. Tally. He fancies this.
Yes! Ha ha! Ah, brilliant.
It's a screamer from Sheffield Town. It's Sunderland have come to Anfield and made a statement. And you can't say they don't deserve it. They put on a performance. Arsenal on that time pressed that beam at them. It's a deflection. Good from Virgil van Dijk. Has to do better. But you can't say Sunderland don't deserve it. They've been awful.
Ah, amazing.
Van Dijk gives the ball away initially, then just backs off. Have to go to the ball and try and manage it.
Absolutely amazing.
It's his backside, just gets away from the goalkeeper. They've been so much sharper and intense, Sunderland. It's summed up by that goal. They get onto the second ball, Van Dijk backs off, doesn't come toward the ball, doesn't make himself big, turns his back, and 1-0 Sunderland. And that's 1-0 against a team who haven't come back from being behind this season. He is absolutely loving it. Super Kev, they call it a super Sunderland performance. On a ground they haven't won since 1983. The low place to print that run, and maybe look for more is Isidore. The season at half-time, and Sheffield should be going at half-time at Anfield and get those players together saying, listen, have a bit more belief, a bit more conviction, we can win this. Liverpool were absolutely dreadful in that first half, have improved slightly in the second half, and that goal just sums up Liverpool in this game. They don't do well when they fall behind. You've this season, Liverpool. Well, Sneaky, but his back still work. His shot is blocked. And Dave. Robertson. 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 Puts it in there. Chelsea. And Calvert-Lewin with the trophy. What's the XG on that one? Chelsea. And the error back there for Chelsea. Chelsea. Street side.
It's